Alright, what's up? It's Valar. Hope everybody's doing awesome, having a good weekend. I'm actually on AsYouWish's account here, so this is my first time doing this, so this is actually kind of fun. He asked me to pull his shards for him, which I'm going to do. We got these double chance on void shards, and make sure you look at the time, because I didn't even realize this until he told me. This thing expires in 6 hours, so like 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, I think it is. Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern time, which I'm East Coast US, so it's that's when it expires. So if you're looking to do this, you got to do it by 7 p.m. Anyway, so he's got 27 we can pull, which we will do, and hopefully get him something cool. He has only 3 legendaries looking at his account, so we're just going to kind of do the pulls. That's the main thing for right now. But he's got Venus, which is freaking amazing that he's got her. Void legendary. So we don't need another Venus, hopefully, but we would take like a Warlord or, a Santa, something like that. And then he's got Queen Eva and Prince Kaimar right here, too. So some good legendaries and decent solid epics, too. But there's no legendaries sitting in the vault or nothing like that. I just looked it over a little bit. So those are the 3 he's got. We need to get him a couple more, hopefully, out of these 27, which would be awesome. So hopefully get him something good. He did say he would be fine with taking a Tormund, because he didn't fuse Tormund, so if we can get him Tormund, great. So without further ado, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps out, thank you. And please like the video, but I'm going to just rip these shards and go for it. So we got room for 30, and he's got 27. So let's see what we get here. Oh man, I thought that with the lag right off the bat there that it would be something good actually. But that's alright. Steadfast Marshal. I don't know if he has a cold heart or anything. I didn't see that. Chevalier. Chevalier is actually not terrible for like an early game guy. He ignores block damage and shield. And he's got a lower version of increased defense and continuous heals, and then he can place a stun. So while he's not like OP, I think for an early game character, Chevalier is actually pretty good. Let's see. Oh man, I'm doing this on BlueStack, so maybe that's why it's a little bit laggy. Because I didn't have it set up where I could log in through the PC except for on my own account. But anyway, so let's see. Daywalker. We need to get him at least an epic. Like he said, Madame Serris would be good too. Man, this is actually pretty brutal so far. 2 Steadfast Marshals out of the first 4. It's only 4 shards so far, so not too terrible there. Alright, come man. All rares. Everything is all rare so far. Marquise. This guy's going to be like, never pull my shards again if I don't get him something good. Alright, I don't think you had her. And actually, she's pretty cool. Cardinal, for this right here, she's got Revive All Dead Allies, heals them to 25% of their max HP, and then boosts their turn meter to max. So it's on a high cooldown. I mean, you got to book it and you get that with 5 turn cooldown, but that's actually pretty sick ability. This is kind of mad. It's pretty low chance for deal poison on her A1 and only a 1-hitter, but a 2-turn poison. And then she's got a heal by 30% of their max HP and places the increased defense debuff for 2 turns on them. So you can pick an ally. You can put it on her, put it on anybody, but it's a 3-turn cooldown on that. So she's actually pretty decent. I would say maybe in his account she might be actually useful, like Sacred Order, Faction Wars, that type of stuff. So she's not like the greatest pull ever, but she's good. She's worth actually taking a look at. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah! Now he's going to be super happy with me. That's exactly what he wanted. Alright, so that's so freaking cool that I didn't even get her yet. So this is exactly who he wanted to get. And she's just absolutely a beast. She looks sick, too, with all this like bats flying around her and everything, and a little glow-in-the-dark witch stick there, whatever that thing is. Removes all buffs from enemies and places a 50% decrease attack and a 60% decrease defense debuff on all enemies for 3 turns, which you get to a 4-turn cooldown. So that is so sick, that ability right there, because it's AoE. I've actually been using Tomb Lord to do this, and he has a higher cooldown than she does. You can only get his to a 5-turn cooldown, and it doesn't remove all the buffs. So this ability in and of itself is just like, she is sick. You can use her in Arena. I feel like you can use her in Dungeon Waves, everywhere. She's really good. She's got this A1 that does the 20% of placing a Fear debuff for 1 turn. And this change increases to 30% of the targets under 1 debuff and increases to 45% if the target's under 2 or more debuffs. And then on another AoE that places block debuffs on allies if any buff stolen, and also a True Fear on any enemies who have buffs stolen. So she's got like a whole ton going on. So I think he's going to be happy no matter what. He told me as long as he got her, he'd be actually like super happy with it. So I guess we'll call this a win no matter what. And we still have got 18 to go. So next thing we pull a Santa form will be pretty damn sick. Hopefully he gets one Void Legendary here. Alright, well, we're back there. You can see the dangers of using blue stacks to do this. The game crashed and I had to reboot the game. So anyway, no big deal, whatever. We got 17 shards left. Let's actually just get through this. And I think he's going to be super happy in the fact that I actually got him a damn Serris. And for this account, that is like a total game changer. Seducer, Stu, if you're watching, there's your boy. Anyway, places a 30% increased defense on all allies for 2 turns and then block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns. So he also has, I believe, an AoE. AoE decrease attack, but it's the lower version of it. He's not really going to need him because of getting Madame Serris, except for this is actually a pretty cool ability. So I think Madame Serris for him is actually totally game-changing for this account, which is actually really cool. I always get her. This is the reskin of Spirit Host, but for some reason she also looks like Reliquary Tender as well. Like they're all 3 the same skin, I believe. I don't think he had Reliquary Tender. That would be a good one for him too, actually, as far as a rare goes. But we got 14 shards left. We keep going through here. Hopefully get him one more thing that would actually be pretty cool. Even if we got him like a Man-Eater or something, that would be kind of neat. And then he'd have like to be able to do unkillable in dungeons and things, even though that's getting nerfed for Clan Boss. And he didn't have enough to do that anyway. As far as running an unkillable comp goes. Okay, here we go. What are we getting? Pretty cool. So he's probably going to like this too. I don't know if he has Amazon Prime, but this is actually the girl that they give you for having Amazon Prime. And she's Whisper. She's got the attacks one enemy and places a 50% chance of placing the larger version of Weaken, which we can get up to 75% chance. And that's on her A1, so that's pretty cool. She's like also got this increased attack buff on herself. And will ignore defense if it's under a weakened buff, which is cool. And then grants an extra turn if the target's under a decreased defense and weakened buff. And then also 10% chance of getting an extra turn whenever the champion lands a critical hit. Increased damage against bosses by 20%. So she's actually looks pretty neat. I don't know if he's got any relentless gear or anything like that, but she would be kind of cool to try that out on because she got a whole ton in her kit that procs extra turns. So you can get even more extra turns with the relentless gear, which is pretty nice. So we got, 10 more to go? So those 2, and then he gets Reliquary Tender. So I don't know if he had Reliquary Tender, but this is a good rare. So hopefully he didn't have her. And then this is nice, the Cleanse. Removes all debuffs from all allies and places a 15% continuous heal on them for 2 turns. So for a rare, she is really, really good. I don't think he had like a Gorgorab or anything that would be comparable. And plus, she actually does a Cleanse. She resurrects one dead ally, not the whole team, but still, for his account, I think that would actually be pretty good. Reliquary Tender. All right, and more Daywalkers, more dupes. We got 9 shards left. So another epic. Faceless. Apparently, Faceless is good in Arena now. I have Faceless. I've done absolutely nothing with him. That's kind of lame. Okay. Increased crit rate on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks one enemy. Meh. Attacks one enemy, ignores shield and block damage buffs as well as defense. That's probably the cool part. On a 3-turn cooldown, and you can just buff the damage up. So that's probably the cool part of him. I still think he looks a little bit underwhelming in my opinion, but you probably can get him to hit pretty hard. But he's not that great. I actually think Reliquary Tender in his pull is better than that for him. But we got 6 or 7 more to go. Yeah. Oh, Painkeeper. There we go. So he's got... I don't think he had Painkeeper either. Painkeeper, in and of itself, forget all the unkillable comps, all that stuff, which anyway are probably getting nerfed, like I feel like this week, maybe even tomorrow, who knows. But attacks one enemy 2 times and fills her turn meter by 10%. She's got an AoE that heals all allies by 15%. And she's got this ability that decreases the cooldowns of all ally skills by 1 turn and get to a 4-turn cooldown. So she's like a mini Kymar. He does have Kymar. So he doesn't necessarily need this because Kymar can reset everyone's cooldowns on all abilities, not just decreasing them by 1 turn. But I still think Painkeeper is pretty good, and this ability is pretty neat for the heals because it's by her HP. You stack her with a ton of HP. She's really good for dungeons and giving you some sustain where you can actually have some DPSers on there with her. All right. So he had her already. I think I saw Eviscerator. She's okay. I mean, she's just a rare. Okay, we get another epic. Golden Reaper. So this is actually a pretty good pull for him. He hasn't got any legendaries yet, but he's got some solid epics here. So that he didn't have before. The AoE that has a 50% chance of doing decreased attack for 2 turns. So another AoE decreased attack decreases turn meter by 20% if they're not under the decreased attack. And this is her big ability. Places increased speed buff and boosts turn meter by 20%. Her A1 is a 30% chance to decrease the cooldown of a random ally skill by 1 turn. So she's pretty cool. For his account, another one that I think would be pretty actually good to actually slot in a couple different spots on his account. We only got 3 more left, so we're almost done here. But Madame Serris is obviously the highlight of this. I think he's going to be super pumped in the fact that he got her, and he should be. So I'm glad actually this shard opening went well, because other people might ask me to do them. If you want to, I'll post a link to the Discord in my description. I'm not going to have the time today to do any more for anybody, unfortunately. But I don't know if you had a decreased attack. If you did not have a decreased attack for Clan Boss, this is actually a good option right now. So Veteran has a decreased attack on his A1. So I'm saying a lot of this to help him out too. So attacks one enemy 2 times and has 35% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. And damage is inflicted is proportional to defense. And he does increase crit rate and all, and an AoE that does block buffs for 1 turn. But your main thing you're going to use him for is if you don't have a decreased attack in Clan Boss, you would use him for this. Although I think he might have had J-Reg. I'm not 100% sure. So if he did, no big deal. All right, so last one. Again, if anybody wants to come in my Discord or anything of future shard pulls, and there he goes. He got Bellower. So he has Queen Ava. I don't think he needs Bellower for the farming, but Bellower is actually really good. Put him in stun gear for crowd control and everything too. So actually, it's a pretty good shard opening. Didn't get any legendaries, but he's got Madame Serris. He got Cardinal out of that. They got a whole bunch of good stuff actually too. So I think you should be pretty pumped. Pretty excited about that. So that'll be it for today. Again, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And thank you very much for letting me do your shard pulls as you wish. And cheers.